Hello, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It's Damon. I'm recording blocks. And today I will hit a trifecta. Usually I would rebook some WrestleMania 1 or 2. I would do double feature. This time I'm going to do a triple feature. There are going to be 3 WrestleManias. And unlike taking a WrestleMania that was good, this time I thought I'll take 3 odd number WrestleMania that pretty much sucked. And I would adapt it to make them better. And honestly, I don't think they would be the greatest WrestleManias of all time. I'm not delude myself, but I think they wouldn't suck. In fact, I think they'll be more than solid. And yes, Bruce Pritchard, I have more than five matches on that card. So, without further ado, WrestleMania 9. I'll start with WrestleMania 9, which in this case makes it a bit easier. I would start off the opener would still be for the Intercontinental title, but it would be Shawn Michaels defending against Marty Jannetty. In this case, you can have Marty win the title, or you can have basically Shawn retain. It doesn't matter, but the great match they were supposed to have, the Rumble, have him there. So yeah, and because I feel like looking at that card, I think it's WrestleMania. Why not change sometimes? So that would be this. Uh, Second match will be Crush, Tatanka, Tito Santana, Owen Hart, and the Nasty Boys all teaming up against Bam Bam Bigelow, Papa Shango, Jerry Lawler, the Repo Man, and the Beverly Brothers. You need a match, like the first match would actually be a long 20-minute match. So you need basically to refresh your, basically just to have a refreshing change of pace. And that'll be 5-6 minutes or 8 minutes the most. And you have the face go over. Then you have the Steiners, Ed Shrinkers, another long matches. And it will be like in real life, and Steiners win. Yes, Scott Steiner, Frankensteiner. Okay, next one. I would have Bob Backlund versus Rick Martel. I feel like 2 of the Final Fours on WrestleMania, you could easily have Rick Martel versus Bob Backlund. I don't know why I would have win, to be honest with you. There could be an argument of both. And since no heel really win that year and Bob Backlund was barely used, I'll have Rick Martel win via small package. So, number 5, the 5th match. I would have Money Inc. defend the World Tag Titles against Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake. And like in real life, I would have Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake actually win the World Tag Titles together on that pay-per-view. They don't have to have a long reign, but I felt like giving Hulk Hogan a last real WrestleMania moment, but a warranted one, a booked one, and not a politic-driven one, would have been great. So now we have only one heel win. That's about to change. We're going to have Yokozuna versus Earthquake. Earthquake was undefeated at that time in WrestleMania, and I thought Yokozuna didn't need to win the Rumble. He could have still eliminated 7-8 people and then get eliminated because a dump of people, an handful of people just team up to get him out. And Earthquake sacrificed himself to eliminate Yokozuna. He go to WrestleMania. It's a good match, a good big man match, 8 minutes. Yoko beats Earthquake and ends Earthquake's WrestleMania undefeated streak in the process. Since Earthquake was going away, why not do this? You put somebody over, a new monster, and boom, there you go on Yokozuna's trek to King of the Ring 93 when he can actually win the WWE title. So that would be my way to go. Afterwards, I would have Lex Luger versus the Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man is also on his way out, and I think at this point you might as well just use people who are leaving for a reason. You have Lex Luger cleanly beat Big Boss Man. You Razor Ramon versus Mr. Perfect. Basically, to the culmination of their feud that started at Survivor Series 992. And in this case, depends on who you want to put, because there's a good argument can have for Mr. Perfect getting the win, or you can have Razor Ramon squeak by to get the win, because if he's not going to get I want to have him, if Razor wins, I'm not going to have him winning the Razor's Edge, maybe based with a backslide like the Narcissist did. Could have easily done that. So that I'm not sure who would have won, depending on based the booking plans later that year. The before the last match will be The Undertaker vs. Evil Doink, which is covered in the Rebooking the Streak video, and I would have Undertaker win. And the main event will be Bret Hart defending against the Royal Rumble 993 alternate winner, which will be the Macho Man Randy Savage. And while there's a great argument for Macho Man finally gaining the title back, he did it the year before, so that Bret Hart retained. But at the end, both of them would hug each other, and boom goes the dynamite. And I think it would have been a perfect, superb WrestleMania. Wouldn't still be one of the best ones, but will be remembered much more fondly than the one that we had to endure all those years later. That's the first WrestleMania booking. Second one, the triple feature is WrestleMania 11. Boy, was it a one-match show. And I'm trying to change that. Now, I would start off with a tag team number one contendership match, because there was a couple of tag teams. I'm surprised a lot of them were not even featured in the seven match card WrestleMania. It's probably the WrestleMania Bruce Pritchard's favorite WrestleMania, because on that 7 matches. So yeah, I would have the Edge Shaker versus Men on a Mission, the newly turned heel Men on a Mission, versus the Harris Twins versus Bob Holly and X-Pac. I don't know what I would win, but it would be a very fun match. I would have Adam Bomb face off against Emilio Godwin or King Kong Bundy, whichever. And since I really liked Adam Bomb, Brian Clark, I would have Adam Bomb win, and on his way to win a nice title later on that year against Jeff Jarrett. Akushi would debut in that pay-per-view, and I would have him squash Aldo Montoya. You could have for the IC title, Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett. The roadie is not at ringside because X-Pac, Montreal Kid takes care of it. And I believe Razor could win the title back here, because it was a lame DQ in real life. We could have gotten Razor to win the title back here. And I thought it was stupid back in the day that the women's title was not even included at WrestleMania 11. It was included the day afterwards. I would have it basically be defend at WrestleMania 11, where both Nakano would have another tremendous match with Alundra Blaze. Alundra Blaze would regain the women's title. She would regain the women's title at WrestleMania 11. Now, in basically a very symmetrical way of WrestleMania, you would have Owen Hart would advance the men tag title shot at WrestleMania with a mystery partner, like in real life. But he says, since it's better than Bret, that his lousy brother Bret, in his own words it would be, he's going to do what Bret did the year before. He's going to wrestle twice same event against his brother before going on for a World Tag Title match. So you have Bret Hart versus Owen Hart in the culmination of their feud, because I thought it was kind of lame the combination of their feud happened like on Raw after the big time feud. You could have it a year to the day, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart in a submission match with Roddy Piper as the referee, and again, Bret Hart wins. And Bret Hart basically, like, Owen seems basically like battered. He feels like he can't move anymore, so he just limps the back. You have British Bulldog versus Mr. Bob Backlund. British Bulldog wins. And then, since just one match beforehand, Owen Hart comes back, holding his back, and you think, dude, he's not going to be conditioned to face the Smoking Guns for all tag titles. He's not going to win. However, they announced that Yoko's his partner. He faces Smoking Guns. They win the tag titles, and basically makes more sense that he just barely does anything for that match. It's mostly Yoko doing the hard work, and Owen celebrates like everything was done because of him. So with this, that'll be hilarious. Now, before the last match will be Undertaker versus Bam Bam Bigelow. You have LT in the corner of Undertaker and Bam Bam Bigelow. You probably have the rest of the corporation. Oh, yeah, you have this, and Taker wins. You get top rope clothesline and maybe choke slam combo. You have Lex Luger versus Tatanka. Luger wins, and the main event, Diesel versus Shawn Michaels. In which case, Diesel win. Again, I look at the card with the available talent. Wouldn't be the best WrestleMania, not by a long shot, in the history of WrestleMania, but it'd be a middle of the road pay-per-view. That I do believe. And that's the second one. The third and final one for today will be WrestleMania 13. Yes, we all know which match to remember, but does everybody else remember the rest of the show? Does the rest of the show screams mid? And I love WrestleMania 12. It was 6 matches, but there was a reason it was 6 matches. And even then, at the video, saying they could have been 1 more hour in which you had more matches. But nevertheless, WrestleMania 13 I would still keep Flash Funk versus Billy Gunn, but I would put him in the main show. That was a fun, neat opener that deserved to have more eyes on it. Like, give Billy Gunn and Flash Funk a WrestleMania payday. I would follow that up with a tag team battle royal. Since Billy Gunn's in there, he wouldn't be there. It would be Bart Gunn and Road Dogg teaming up against Furnace and LaFon versus the Godwins versus Ed Bangers versus the New Blackjacks versus Ariel was afraid to throw Floyd for some reason. And there was another tag team included. Maybe Bob Ali and Aldo Montoya. And like in real life, Ed Banger wins. The Ed Bangers win and then end up having a world tag title shot later on the line. Then you would have a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental title. I would have The Rock defend against Triple H. Well, Rocky Maivia against Hunter M. Zersley, against Goldust, and against the Sultan. Like, I would have put Wildman Mark Memo, but remember he was injured, so I'm not going to put him in a match. I'm putting him in a segment, but a match. So you have The Rock retain with that awesome kind of regal plex that he did that in your house Final Four. Triple H could do this on the Sultan instead, and that's how they retain. And you have the same out. You can have Triple H and China, Goldust, Terry Reynolds just have their usual brawl outside the ring, and after the match, it didn't need to be. It could be outside the ring, and then you have basically the Iron Sheik and Rocky Johnson fighting inside the ring. You could have basically mixed both of those moments and have the same match, and basically in the first hour of WrestleMania, nobody complained that basically already done. Then you would have for the European title, the British Bulldog defending against Owen Hart. Both are World Tag Team Champions there. In this case, I'm not sure who would have as a winner, but if there was a double countout, as unpopular as it is, it would actually fit the storyline if basically was a double countout. And both of them either brawl or, I wouldn't say brawl, but shove each other for the back. Like you think the World Tag titles are in jeopardy of being lost because the two tag champions can't stand each other, you could easily do that. You could have Psycho Sid defend against Mankind. Crazy people versus seven matches person. So you can have that match. Whoever wins, we win. Now, what will happen with the Bret Hart Stone Cold Steve Austin match? Would both of them be booking at somebody else? They would. Would they not be booking each other? No, they still would. But it'd be a triple threat submission match. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels with Ken Shamrock as the referee. And Bret Hart will basically get some modicum of vengeance toward Shawn during the match. It would take him out and Stone Cold would team up on it, but it'd be the same ending with Bret Hart making Stone Cold Steve Austin pass out. And he effectively turned him heel, but after the match, he would also assault Shawn Michaels with a steel chair and basically injure his leg in kayfabe. So it'd be kind of the same thing. Now, you would have, in the penultimate match, you would have, in a street fight, you would have Ahmed Johnson teaming up with LOD and Jake the Snake Roberts. We would have Mark Merrow and Sable in the corner because they were victims of the Nation of Domination. And they would team up to face Farouk, D'Lo Brown, Crush, and Savio Vega with PG-13. You would have the face go over. Ahmed would basically brawl with Farouk. Mark Merrow and Sable would destroy PG-13 on ringside. Jake would hit a DDT on D'Lo Brown, and the Legion of Doom would dispatch Savio with clothesline, crush out the ring, and hit the Doomsday Device on Savio Vega to pin him in 1, 2, 3. And in the last match, I would have Vader, WWE Champion Vader, defending against The Undertaker. And Vader, Bret Hart would still try to come back in the main event, but it wouldn't directly affect the outcome ending, which is The Undertaker scooping up Vader for Tombstone, fair and square, 1, 2, 3. And that's how I would book WrestleMania 13. So that was my triple feature WrestleMania booking. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll see you guys later. Peace.